Steve, Frank.
All right. Gretch, in the days leading up to the shooting, Fort Hood gunman Nidal Hassan allegedly sent emails to and radicalized imam with connections to al-Qaeda.
Now the Senate Homeland Security Committee launching an investigation into just how much the government knew about it. Joining us right now, we're privileged to have with us ranking member of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, Senator Susan Collins, who's teaming up. Well, good morning to you, Senator, and teaming up with Senator Joe Lieberman to look into this Hassan case in particular. What disturbs you most about it outside the carnage what we've been forced to live with over the past few days?
It appears that there were some red flags that were missed about the major's behavior. More and more reports are coming out about his visiting radicalized internet sites, his email traffic, his presentation to some of his colleagues. All of these appear to be red flags that should have prompted an investigation of him, or at least conversation with him. We're still looking into the facts, as is the Army and the FBI, so we don't have all the facts, but it does appear that there were some red flags, and that's what we want to know, because we want to make sure that procedures are in place to help protect our troops from future attacks like this.
There were a whole bunch of red flags. You know, it wasn't just one, wasn't just two. There were a whole bunch of dots that the FBI could have connected. And now we know that apparently they intercepted 10 or 20 of the email with this particular guy talking to that imam over in Yemen. Senator, let me be blunt. It looks to me like the FBI blew it.
Well, I think it's too early to conclude that. It is encouraging to me that the Joint Terrorism Task Force did look into the major's email and was aware of him. It appears as early as 2008, but we don't yet know exactly what happened. But certainly it's worrisome if red flags were ignored, if behavioral issues were not targeted for further review. After all, this individual killed 13 people and wounded scores more. So this is something we have to have a no-holds-barred investigation of.
And he's still alive. It was an inquiry instead of an investigation. Now let's talk about something else that's going to keep you busy, and that is health care. Senator, the president, everyone's targeting you and Olympia Snowe as somebody that could go to the Democratic plan. What would stop you? Looking at the House plan, I know you didn't read all 1,990 pages yet, but on the surface,
nobody did.
Right, maybe they didn't. What would stop you from voting for it?
Well, it's hard to know where to begin. In the first place, I do not support having the government create a government-owned, government-run insurance company. I don't think that makes sense at all, the public plan, as it's called. I also, and this is my biggest concern about the bills, I believe they would actually increase the cost of insurance for many middle-income families. I don't like the penalties that would be imposed on small businesses. Small employers are doing the best they can to provide health insurance for their employees. We shouldn't be penalizing them. So I have a lot of problems, fundamental problems, with all of the bills that have been put forth today.
And Senator, I know you have to get going, but if someone told you there's a trigger or an opt-out, would that win you over to the public plan?
No, it would not.
Okay.
All right. Senator Susan Collins, it's always a pleasure to have you drop by a little before you start off on your busy day today. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us live.
Thank you.
She's one of the senators most often mentioned in almost every major policy these days.
And she's on our show.
Yeah, that's very true. I don't know what's more important. Meantime,